This video marks the start of something much bigger. I am committing myself to a new challenge, and I feel the need to push myself again, as it's something that I have been lacking in my own life. Maybe it's not something that's visible here, but it's something that I have felt this desire to do throughout a large portion of my life. And I'm missing that. It's something that I'm lacking as of late, and I need to make that change. So why do I need to push myself again? And to be honest, it's because I've gotten too complacent, and I've been a little bitch, quite honestly, in my personal life, and even honestly here professionally, and even on YouTube, and in other things that you may or may not see. But when I take a step back and look at things, that's what I see. I don't see the person that I want to be. And to be honest, it's just not okay. And I just can't accept that. And I can't keep doing this. And I can't keep going through the motions this way. Nothing and no one's going to make me change other than myself. I have to do it. And I'm committing to some big goals for the next year or so. And ideally, this will continue after, to keep pushing myself to new levels, to new accomplishments, to new things. And it will always change as my life changes, as responsibilities change, as business stuff, as professional stuff, as personal stuff changes. There's going to be stuff that I'm going to have to adjust. But for the next year, these goals that I'm going to lay out in this video might not sound like they have anything to do with my content and what I've traditionally been talking about and posting here on this channel, but I believe they actually do more than ever. They have more to do with this channel than ever, and they have more to do with me, with you, with those watching, than you probably think. Nothing is dramatically changing on here. I'm not quitting what I usually do and the live streams and some of the videos and the trading stocks $100,000 videos. None of that's changing. But there's a new wrinkle that I want to add going forward, and I have a question to kind of ask after after we detail and you understand what I'm committing to, as to how I want to go about this new wrinkle in my life and how I want to share it, at least here on this platform that I've built over the past couple of years. So what is it? What am I doing? What's going on? What's the big deal? Well, it comes down to one word, okay? One word, and I'm going to expand upon what I mean by it in a second. But that word is endurance, okay? And the reason I'm challenging myself to new levels of endurance that I've never reached before, that I've never tried, and never tested before in my life, it's because I believe that this is one of the biggest drivers, skills, factors, whatever you want to call it, in getting what you want out of your own life, out of my life. And I think a lot of people would agree. And I'll explain deeper as to why. Because here is the literal definition on my computer from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Endurance, noun, the ability to withstand hardship or adversity, especially the ability to sustain a prolonged stressful effort or activity. Everyone hears endurance and they think about, running, and they think about marathons, triathlons, those types of things. That's like the first thing you think about. We'll get to that point here in a second. But that literal definition, I think, can be applied to so many more things than running, right? Than your physical endurance to sustain a pace, to run a race, to do whatever, right? It can be applied to literally anything in life. And I think this space, this financial space, the stock space, and all that stuff that I've gone deep into over the past couple of years, right? And that I really enjoy and that I want to stay in for my own career professionally and outside of YouTube, but just for myself and other things, right, that I want to do with this going forward, and the knowledge and the lessons and where I think I could take it, right? I think endurance is extremely important there, just as it is in a race. You kind of see what I mean? So we primarily talk stocks, trading, finances, portfolios here, this strategy, that strategy. And the definition like literally hits me the hardest now because of how I feel about my performance and just like what the performance has been over like the past like 2 years. How things have changed, the ability to adapt hasn't been what I thought I could do, right? I have not done what I thought I could do. I haven't lived up to the expectations that I set for myself. And that's fine, right? That's fine. There's a lot of lessons. I'm 24 years old. There's a lot more that I'm going to learn. There's a lot more time that I've got. I'm pretty young, right? Very young, I guess, for some people's standards, right? If you're watching this video. I think I'm pretty young as well. I probably look younger than I even am, right? And I'm almost going to be 25 this coming summer. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it. But I've learned a lot of lessons already. I've had a lot of attempts, a lot of failures, a lot of successes, and a whole lot more failures over the past couple of years. Specifically the past 2 years, we've seen a lot more failures, a lot more failed attempts, a lot more losses, a lot more pain, a lot more suffering, right? Can even go as far to say as hardship, adversity in some regards, right? Obviously, there's varying levels of this, and there are people who have it way, way worse than I do. Way, way fucking worse than I do. Let me tell you that. And I understand that, and I totally see that. Not taken away from anybody else's shit. But here's the thing. I've taken some time to reflect on what I've seen across social media, the finance community recently, and to be honest, I fucking hate it. Like it, and I mentioned this on a live stream recently. It sucks. Like there's the community aspect that we had, a couple years ago was so much stronger than what we have now. I feel like there's almost no community aspect. I feel like selectively you'll find it, but people are like this. People are doing this. They're butting heads. And I hate it. It's just something that I hate to see. People have gotten angry. They've gotten aggressive, ultra opinionated, right? I've got to be fucking right. You fucking suck. You're wrong. Like that's how it feels, right? It feels like politics. It feels just like politics. That's kind of bled over into the finance community the past, couple years. Many came, many went, many quit, many gave up along these past couple years. Many didn't have the endurance. Many did not have the endurance to push through, to keep pushing, and to use the hard times, to use the suffering, to use the hardships, the adversity, to get better or to get stronger, okay? That leads me back to the endurance, my new endurance challenge. And so what is it? What am I committing to? I'll explain some more background here in a second, but next February, I will be running the Austin Marathon. So yes, I take it back to the whole marathon thing, the whole endurance, right? But it's more than that, as I've mentioned, right? It will be my first ever marathon, first ever, and I want to do it in under 3 hours and 30 minutes, okay? That would put it at roughly an sub 8 minute pace, okay? If I nail an 8 minute pace on average, I'll beat it just barely. That's the goal, okay? That's the goal. So I'm 24, about to be 25 in a few months. And over the past 24 years, I have essentially done minimal endurance training, maybe a mile or two here, maybe a little race here and there. I did some short distance track, 100 meters, 400 meters was it was really 300 meters, I think. I don't think I ever did a 400 meter. 300 meters was like my like longest race I ever did. And that was back in high school, sophomore year, junior year. And to be honest, I wasn't taking it super seriously. It was something to do outside of my other sports seasons I would be playing throughout childhood, a lot of football and lacrosse into early high school. And then I eventually was like, you know what? I don't like the culture that we had at my school. And I was like, you know what? I'd much rather work on myself and get in the gym and lift weights and build strength and build a body that I was proud of, right? And so I got deep into lifting. And from 16 years old to 24, almost 25, so we're coming up on, 8 to 10 years now, that's all I've done. That's all I've known. When it comes to working out, that's all I've done. Did I know? Yeah, cardio and yes, sure. but it hasn't been a big piece at all in my training. And when I would do cardio, it would be like some uphill walking at like a 3 speed on the treadmill, and that was it. That was like my extent of cardio. And I've dabbled, I've done a mile run here and there, but this is a new challenge that I've just never done, and it's a new area of physical fitness, of hardship, of endurance that I want to challenge myself to do. So, about 2 months ago, I ran a mile for the first time in a long time. And I ran that mile at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, okay? Did it outside, maybe there's some wind, a little bit of hill, okay, fair enough. Was it the perfect scenario? Was it on a track? No. Do I know exactly it was a mile? No. I tracked on my watch, GPS, okay, fair enough. But still, I ran it in 9 minutes and 30 seconds, okay? That was about 2 months ago. And on and off, I've been starting to kind of dabble with a few runs a week, some longer distances, and then when I say longer, I mean, a few miles, and then some shorter, maybe some hill sprints here and there, maybe a mile or two or, whatever. And just last week, I ran for about an hour straight, okay? I haven't done that. I don't know if I've ever done that, to be honest with you, where I didn't stop to walk, nothing, ran straight for an hour, just jogged for an hour. And that's like, okay, let's see what I can do. And I got between 6 to 6.5 miles or so, and I checked my watch, and my average pace for that period was 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So just like there, right, nowhere near the 8-minute mile goal for an entire marathon, over 26 miles, right, that we want to get an 8-minute mile pace. Nowhere near it. But just right there, that shows you how you can build up that endurance, right? And it shows you with some training and taking it a little bit more seriously what you can do. Now taking it a lot more seriously, I want to see what I can do. And so, like I said, my current background is more so weightlifting and strength training. 100% naturally. Nowadays, it's a pretty big thing on social media. I have no interest in taking any of that stuff or taking any additional, enhancing agents, health purposes, and all that stuff. Maybe one day if I had low testosterone when I'm like 50 years old, maybe I'd consider it. But these days, I can do it all naturally and have the ability to, so I'm gonna do that. And that's the healthiest way to do it in my opinion. But right now I lift weights about 4 times per week, okay? And I'm not gonna stop doing that. I still will be training for strength. I will still be training for hypertrophy. I will still be training like I usually do 4 times per week in the gym. Essentially, nothing has changed there. I used to work out. I used to train more like 6 times a week and do no cardio. Now 4 times a week with a balance of cardio, I think is a solid plan. Okay, I'm in the gym for 45 minutes to an hour. That's it. I'm not trying to work out for 30 hours. That's it. It's simple. Get in, hit my goals, try to build strength, try to get, that next rep, try to get that next, 5 pounds higher on this or that, and build that over time. That will remain consistent. But now I'm going to start running 3 to 4 times per week. And I say 3 to 4 because it will be at least 3, but there will be some weeks where I might do 4. I might even do 5. And those will be kind of lighter runs, lighter jogs. Maybe I'll do it with my girlfriend if she wants to run here and there, or I'll just be like, hey, it's a beautiful freaking day and I worked out at 6 a.m., lifted weights. Maybe in the afternoon I want to get a quick, 2-miler, 3-miler jog in light pace just because I'm bored. I may do that. But the days when I'm not lifting will be the days that I do more aggressive or a little more intense running workouts. And of course, they'll be varied. They will not just be all insane, like try to run as far as you can, as fast as you can. No, there will be some strategic training in, following some plans and whatnot. But before the Austin Marathon, which is going to be February of 2024, okay, so it's a little about like 10 months away. Before that, I do want to challenge myself to run something else in preparation for the marathon. And that's going to be the Austin Rattler Run. I'm going to do the 50K, okay, which is about 31 miles. So you have a 10-mile option, a 20, and a 30-mile option. I'm going to do the 31-mile option because why the fuck not? It's not till November. I got, plenty of time to train for this, but it's more of like a trail and a dirt road type of run, so it's a little bit different. And so I'll have to do more training off the streets, which is what I currently do it on now, and do more of a trail running kind of approach, which I can totally do. And Austin's great because there's tons of trails, tons of places to do that, downtown, outside downtown. It's great. I love it here when it comes to the kind of athletic culture that we have. And so I want to document it. it's a pretty big thing. I'm committing a lot of time to it, and I want to document it. Now, am I going to start documenting everything every single second? No. But I want to share some of the takeaways, the experiences, and all that stuff that I'm experiencing along the way on a platform that I've literally just built over the past couple of years. Like, why not do that as well? And so I have a question and kind of a plan, a rough plan going forward. The question is, do I just post it here kind of randomly, but not randomly, after we're talking about it now in this video, and we'll talk about it, in live streams and whatnot going forward. Do I post it all here on this channel, or just make a new playlist and just kind of post, maybe like a video a week, or like, a couple videos a month? There'll be some shorts maybe thrown in, there'll be some, longer form content thrown in, but just post it here and whoever wants to watch it can watch it. Or do I make a new channel? Now, the reason why I don't want to do the new channel is because I kind of have a bunch already. TC trading is one, and stock trends another one. There should be links down in the description of the videos here. But those kind of already do those things. Like the TC trading is very, very tutorial based, question based, specific based. And then stock trends, a couple times a week, we do essentially, big picture technical analysis updates in the markets. We look at different stocks, different charts, different sectors, all that great stuff. Bonds, metals, oil, anything. We'll look at it all and get a big picture view of what's going on in the macro, economy almost. From the chart perspective. And so I already do those things on those channels, right? So this channel is just my name. So why not just share what I do and what I'm doing, right? So I think that's the way that I want to take it. Okay. But to kind of put it all together in life and business, in the markets and trading and in fitness, endurance, I think is crucial. I really do. And if you don't have it, you're going to end up like everybody else who tries, goes a little bit into something, and then gives up and quits. And then the finance community is a microcosm of that, or it's a perfect example of that, right? Many have come, many have gone, and it's not the same as it was 3-4 years ago, right? It's just not. I'm sure you see it. Pretty clear. The interest, it's not there. And I think a lot has to do with how people have, over time, right, over the past couple of years, are butting heads, right? And so there's a lot less community and communal feel to the space. And so at least here on this channel, I firmly believe that having the strength and endurance to push through those times, for example, like this, will lead to the most fulfilling experiences in life, in business, in training, in whatever you're seeking. And so I want that here, and I want to keep building that, or I want to start fresh almost and build that here. Okay, that's just kind of what I want to do. It's not about look at me, follow me, do this. It's how can I impact, or how can we impact each other, so that whatever you're doing, whether that's in the markets, which I am still 1000% invested into, and I mean in terms of my time and energy and my focus, is not changing. I'm not stopping what I've already been doing, right? But what I want to do is challenge myself this year in a different way and bring people along, or build more of a community around that, but also get myself to experience endurance in a different aspect of life that can carry over to what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing in the current maybe financial aspect or personal aspect or business aspect of my own life. And that's the whole point. And that's what I want to take away from this video, is that we're changing something, but we're also building something here. And that's what I want to do. And so I think the plan, unless there's a lot of feedback and pushback, is going to be stick to this channel, make a new playlist, maybe call it endurance, maybe call it training for different kind of, goals that I'll have at the time, and talk about that stuff here and there on the live streams, right? But have specific, shorts and videos set aside for those things and those other avenues, other challenges that I'm pursuing in my life, because that's what this channel is. This channel is me. This channel is not necessarily, you know, not brand. This channel isn't a generic brand. It's me. And if this is a big piece of my life that relates to a lot of other areas, I want to talk about it and I want to share it. And that's the plan moving forward. So if you guys watch this whole video, I appreciate you. You're a beast. And thanks so much for watching. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on all this stuff. But I'm excited to get going. Actually, as I wrap this up, I'm about to go run a mile to see how my mile time has been progressing over the past 2 months. But we've got a lot of work to be done and a lot of endurance to build over the next couple months. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.